Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Mulligan. I'm your host, as always, Shane Harrison, joined alongside, as always, Todd Jordan.
Hello.
And apologies for being late, guys. We had a lot of adult things getting in the way these past couple weeks.
X-rated?
Do you want to know?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about the clicks. Clickbait, baby.
Join our Patreon. You'll find out if it was X-rated or not. But, again, apologies for being late. We have a lot of stuff to get into, so we're just going to jump right into it. We're going to start off with a brand new segment, the AFK Minute. We're going to talk about the juiciest of the gossip coming to the Magic community. This week, a well-respected team got a blemish on their mark. Team Eureka.
GP Manchester, I think it was.
It was GP Manchester, round 4. Teammate Fabrizio Ontari was caught. I cannot find what made him suspect him of cheating. I don't know if it may have been a helix trick, a shuffle trick, whatever it might have been. He didn't make it long to the tournament. When we look over these top 8s in a minute, he will not be on them.
Most likely not. I would assume there would be a mix-up there if he was.
It seems like Team Eureka has released a statement, cutting all ties with them, apologizing, stating that their values are against cheating. And of course you are going to say that. My only question is, as a professional team preparing for a Grand Prix, I know how we prepare for Grand Prix, and we spend a lot of time together, and this is not our professional job.
Mm-hmm.
I simply feel like if that person is using trickery to get to the level of competition that he's at, even if he's not using trickery during the testing, would you not notice?
I mean, in
play
testing,
falling off?
You would see it. I mean, there's a chance that he was doing it in play testing, for all we know. I mean, you've got to release statement that is it's
Generic.
good that they're doing it, but it's the CYA statement. So I'm interested to see how things come down. It's probably going to be several weeks before we hear anything about it, though.
Right, and if it does come down, he will be banned for what is the maximum punishment?
You can be banned permanently. Your DCI can be shut down. So I don't know. I'd be interested to see what they end up doing.
Absolutely. So keep it on that. Hopefully we might have some more information next week. So we're going to hop off that. And speaking of Manchester, let's check out those top 8 lists.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got.
Let's do a little live. We'll cut away from the camera for a second. Maybe pull up some top 8 deck lists here. I still have Minneapolis open.
We actually have not looked at these deck lists before we got into the booth today because we want to try something new. We want to get our reactions on camera to seeing these, just so you can see official, and so you can get a little glimpse into what goes through our heads as we see these results come in.
Right. So we'll look at the top 8 deck list here. It's out available on Wizards' site. First one I see is green-white tokens. I mean, I'm going to not even try to pretend I'm surprised at that. That deck's really good.
No.
Really good.
That is not surprising. I think we mentioned it last week, that token seems to be the spot to be in right now.
It's definitely
It's won quite a few opens. It's done well in the smaller scenes.
Mm-hmm.
It only makes sense that in the hands of a professional.
Mm-hmm.
It can top
it a lot.
At a GP.
And then we got some Bant.
Oh, duh.
Some Bant rights.
Just because you put another name beside it doesn't mean it ain't Bant.
It's
company.
still Bant.
It's still Bant, and I still hate it. Go.
Green-white tokens again, of course.
Yeah.
Bant company.
Yeah.
Well, we got that. Another Bant company.
God!
And another green-white tokens. And then we have the interesting deck, the blue-red Ulamog deck.
The diversity is killing me.
I'm a big fan of this blue-red deck. I've seen several people play it on stream. That's the Ulamog, Chandra's, Drowner of Hope. Tap down their creatures using your tokens and hit them in the face with Chandra, or you can just cast Ulamog and make them have a very bad day. I have a lot of trouble with this deck with the black-white. I mean, I've been kind of brewing to figure out if there's a way I can sideboard for it, but it's a solid deck, and it does a lot of good things. So, I mean, Hedron Archive, Shrine of the Forsaken Gods, it's a ramp with a different color other than green.
That is a good point, because one of the fairest ways to beat this deck is to be playing Bant, because Bant, you can beat them quicker than they can ramp.
So the solution is Bant.
Or humans, I guess.
And another interesting one here to round out our top 8, I believe, is Grixis Control.
Really?
Yeah, you got
Let's see this
old
list.
Grixis with Chandra, Obnixilis, Dragon Lord Selimgar, which he's been missing.
He's been missing in action. I remember when he was the man.
Goblin Dark Dwellers, Kalitas, and Jace. Old Jace is seeing some play in this deck. Kolagon's Command. There's a lot of good tools.
Looks like they took a lot of the mediocre rares, per se, in today's meta. And was like, you know what? These guys are better than what everyone is giving
I
them
wouldn't
credit
say
for.
mediocre. They might be forgotten, neglected. The
Neglected.
Isle of Misfit Rares.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, that top 8 has a lot of tokens, has a lot of Bant. I'm sad to see that, really.
We mentioned in the very first episode of this of our hatred for stagnation when it comes to Magic tournaments, but then again, I also get it. These are all professional players. They're going to play the best decks, and it's not their fault that the best decks only have a few top tier decks.
Yeah, and Bant is good. Bant has options. It has staying power. It has aggro. I mean,
It has sustainability. It can come back.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. It plays a lot of very powerful cards efficiently, and I mean that's kind of how you build a good deck. Just because I'm a little bit salty about it doesn't mean it's any worse for wear.
All right, let's switch it over.
Switching over, we're gonna go ahead. It was a double weekend for GPs. We had Minneapolis and Manchester. Minneapolis is interesting as well, so we'll take a quick look at the Minneapolis top 8 too and get our reactions on that. Just give me a second to switch all this over. And there it is. There's Bant Humans, the combination.
I have nothing else to throw.
The humans are back and they're pissed. So I mean, it's really
They haven't won for a little while.
They haven't. They kind of dropped off. They're back. Next we have a White Humans.
Mm-hmm.
Another Bant Humans. And then just one that's just humans.
It's just showed as humans.
And it looks like it's just white red. It's got Abbott. Yeah, Abbott of Carol Keep.
I respect that deck more than any other humans deck I've ever seen.
Walker. That's kind of that white-red deck we were talking about with the Needle Spires, but they made some changes to make it more aggro-y.
But they actually put some good cards from red into the deck, and not just the main lane for durability.
On that one, the sideboard, actually, there's some interesting choices there. Anafenza Kentry Spirit is in the sideboard. Then you get your Silk Wrap, and then 1 Plains. Because sometimes Needle Spires needs to come out. Save that one sideboard spot.
I love when basically entering the sideboard.
So then we've got White-Black Control.
There you go.
I know a thing
That's
or two about that.
Is that your list almost to a T?
No. Mine is more mid-rangey and then sides into it. This one is very much a traditional control. You've got 8 Walkers, 4 Languish, 1 Planar Outburst. You're really wiping the board.
Please play something.
Yeah, 2 Transgress, 4 Grasp, 2 Secure the Waste, Hallowed Moonlights in the main board to deal with some of these Bant decks.
Because Bant is a thing.
Speaking of Bant, the next deck we got is Bant Humans.
I really hope the deck before that's the one knocked it out.
And then green-white tokens. Green-white tokens are the last 2. So, I mean, we're starting to see, I won't call it stagnation in Standard, but we're seeing some of
The cream is rising to the crop.
Yeah.
To the top.
Yeah.
And you're seeing, there was another decently big tournament, the Atlanta Open, that went on. So you see these smaller events, you see the what you would call the competitive home brewery, put your own spin on a classic decks, rising to the top and top 8 and here and there. But
I mean, there's still Esper Dragons day 2ing at events in very small amounts.
But when you get to that level, you know what you're going to play, prepare for it, and you really have a better idea of what to prepare for, because in those bigger events, especially once you get out of the muck, you know exactly what you're going to see. And if you don't know what I mean by the muck, go play in a GP.
And the thing is, the top 8, you can see deck lists in top 8. You can look at your notes, how you sideboard. It's all, as a player, you kind of want to see a top 8 that has a lot of the similar decks, because you know how you're going to sideboard. There's less thinking you have to do after all this Magic you've played. But as a spectator, I like to see the weird stuff. I like to see Grixis Control top 8, because I find that super interesting. But it looks like green-white tokens appeared in both. Bant is back. Not that it ever went away. I think it just took a couple weekends off.
It got tired. It took vacation.
Yeah. So it earned it. It's won countless events and topped several times. So I feel like we'll see more of that coming up. We're going to be going to GP Pittsburgh.
Absolutely. That's already a milestone. It will not be like the last GP we're trying to attend in Charlotte.
Right.
Where things are on the way. This is a guarantee. So if you see us at Grand Prix Pittsburgh, please come, approach us, say hi. We love to hear from everybody more than the internet feedback that we get already.
Right.
Love to put a face in the name.
Exactly. And we'll be up there playing Standard, probably wearing some type of identifying shirt. We don't know yet. We'll coordinate.
We didn't even do that for this podcast, for this cast. So I would not bank on that 100%. But
we normally coordinate our outfits, but it's an off day. So I mean that's it for the GPs. I'd say. If I think you said you wanted to spotlight a deck.
I did earlier, as I mentioned. We enjoy the home brewery decks that kind of get up there and top 8 these events. And one that caught my eye from the Atlanta Open was a blue-white aggro deck featuring a card called Saint Draft.
Yeah, Invocation of Saint Draft.
A card that when I remember when it came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, the flavor is delicious, like bacon." It'll never see play.
I wanted to
never see play.
I thought it was super cute, and I always wanted to have an always watching Dragon Lord's Ujitai and that out because I thought that'd be super awesome. Not realistic to play,
but this deck. Let's see, coming in 4th, I believe it was 6th. 2 Bygone Bishop, 4 Dimensional Infiltrator, 4 Rattle Chains, 4 Reflector Mage, 3 Stratus Dancer, 4 Gideons, 2 Invocation Saint Draft, 3 Clash of Wills, 2 Essence Flux, 4 Spell Shrivel, and 4 Declaration in Stone.
A lot of good removal, a lot of value off the Bygone.
A lot of
rattle chains.
A lot of flying, a lot of
blue-white flyers. My
a lot
draft
of evasion to get around things. And I dare you to find a deck like this on any other list.
I mean,
I haven't seen it.
I saw it play a couple rounds on stream.
I saw a blue-red version of this. I believe I want to say Channel Fireball had a little list like this, a little cocktail of such. But
Maybe.
They definitely did not have the white, and I did not see it top.
Yeah, it was an interesting little deck. I was glad to see something different. I'm like big fan of variety in my decks. I'm back and forth now. I'm a devout black-white control, mid-range player, but I'm starting to lean green-white tokens a little bit just because it's a lot of power. And this interests me. If I thought I could win with this, I might play it.
I would play with it. If you want to check out more of that deck, get on StarCityGames.com, check the deck list for the Atlanta Open. It is the blue-white aggro deck piloted by Hugo Terra.
When we talked about Invocation of Saint Draft a little bit, I mean, what's the cost on that? It's blue-white colorless, I think?
Blue-white colorless for 3.
Enchant a creature, and it says whenever this enchanted creature attacks, put a 4/4 white angel token with flying into the battlefield and exile it at the end of combat, which is a good little swing. If you late game, you can get in with a flyer, make it 2 flyers, hold up some counters.
And basically for 3, you're getting 4 toughness on the battlefield, or 4 power on the battlefield for that swing, on top of whatever you've already attached it to.
Mm-hmm.
I would assume maybe in this Rattle Chains?
I mean, just about anything. Bygone Bishop.
True. True enough.
Bygone Bishop becomes more value. It makes all of your smaller creatures even better. I mean, because with Rattle Chains, you're looking at 6. You're swinging 4 flying. So, I mean, it works in this deck. I don't know if we'll see this again.
It's nothing to prepare for at the next tournament that you're going into because it's the only copy of it that we get to see. So it's nothing to keep on your radar. But if you see it again, just remember you heard it here and you thought it was cute.
Yeah.
All right.
And we'll move on to my blatant hype man Todd view here.
It's disgusting.
It is. Go out to the sellout corner. I'll be over there. Check us out at afkgames.com. We've updated a lot more inventory. You can do your online orders that we can ship out to you now. We have Eternal Masters going to be on pre-order this week, if not already, depending on when you're watching this video. So we have quite a few boxes of Eternal Masters that we can ship out to you if needed, or you can come pick them up at the store. Say hi to Aaron, Shane, and myself. So make sure you just check that out. And, of course, we've got our event schedule up, too, on Facebook. So come out and play some Magic.
Come follow us on all of our social media outlets, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. And I believe that will be all. Unfortunately, time to wrap it up for this week, guys. Come see us again next week, same time, same place.
Well, earlier.
Hopefully. We will see, because this is a thing, so we'll find out.
Your shirt?
What the shirt represents.
Sounds good,
So as always, guys, I'm Shane Harrison.
And I'm Todd Jordan.
See you next week, guys. Thank you all for viewing.